Hey everyone, it's me, Melissa Lennon, your host. I'm coming to you live from the Hive. And today we're going to talk about the 5 diet tips for menopausal weight gain. These are the 5 best tips that I have found. What I usually do is I research the heck out of anything that I want to know about, and then I curate all of that information and bring it to whoever wants to know what I found. But first, let's go through the slides together. I do have to give you this disclaimer. Although I am a health coach, I am not a health practitioner. I'm not a physician, so it's always advisable that you check with your primary care doctor or whoever you're under the care of, and make sure that if you're going to change anything about your diet or your fitness plan, you check to make sure it's okay so that you don't have any injuries. So first, let's talk about what are the 4 main causes of weight gain during menopause, because sometimes you really do need to understand the problem before you can find the solution. So many of you know that estrogen levels drop during menopause, and sometimes the doctors might want to recommend that you go on a hormone replacement. I personally have tried it and it was not good for me. Doesn't mean it's not good for you, but one of the reasons why this happens is we have a decline in our estrogen levels. So that leads to some weight gain. Your body, your hormones don't understand how to process things very well. So that is the first problem that we have. The next problem, or the next cause, I should say, I don't say problem, but it's your metabolic rate decreases. So your metabolism does slow down. Your metabolism is what your body actually uses your calories for energy. So as your metabolism drops, you burn less calories. And then the next thing, which kind of goes hand in hand, is our lifestyle factors. As we age, we tend to not become as active. I know working full time, I am only 56. I say I'm only 56, and I do work full time, but I have to tell you, when I come home at the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is exercise. So it is important to try and fit in some type of activity. I wear an Apple Watch, and when I sit too long, although I'm on my feet most of the day teaching cosmetology, when I sit for too long at my desk, my watch lets me know I've been sitting too long and it's time to move. So having one of those little fitness bands to remind you to get up and walk around, even if you get up and walk around your yard or walk to go get the mail or something, little steps at a time, but start to enjoy getting up and being physical. When the weather's nice enough, I will put on my AirPods and take a walk and listen to a podcast. Always learning. If you know me, I love education. I just keep teaching myself and learning new things and sharing it with others. That's just what I like to do. A curator of knowledge. So anyway, we do slow down as we get older. I don't like to think about retirement as getting tired all over again, because that's what the word retire means to me. I know it doesn't. It means to stop doing something, but retirement scares me because I feel like I'll be moving even less. But anyway, so find out a system that works for you, little baby steps, a little bit at a time, but you do have to keep moving. It's not going to naturally burn like it did when we were younger. And then the aging process alone is a factor into why we gain weight during menopause. Our cells are not as active as they used to be. Skin doesn't replenish as quickly as possible, and I'll get into some beauty tips on another video on how to counter that aging process. But just the cell regeneration is not as active, so we tend to hold on to some of that extra weight that comes into our body. So these are some of the main causes of weight gain during menopause. So getting into what you can do to help counter those causes, you should really learn to prioritize protein. And if you are a vegetarian, you know there are many protein options out there. but you really do need to make lean protein part of your diet. It helps to maintain muscle mass and keep you full, which can also assist in managing your weight during menopause. I like to have protein snacks. If I feel a little hungry, I have either a couple pieces of cheese or a handful of nuts, something, or even cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. But I like to add a little bit of protein as a snack because it does keep me fuller longer. The next thing is you want to choose whole foods. And when we talk about whole foods, what it means is how many steps does it go through from the time it comes from the farm to your table, whether it's a meat or a produce or a grain, how much does it go through will determine how whole that food is. So if you can cook food that you pick up at the grocery store from the produce, fresh meat from the farm. We tend to buy our meat from a farm because we know that they're not using a lot of chemicals. They're not mass producing the meat. We're paying a little bit more, but we know that they're grass fed. Their diets are healthy. They're not giving them antibiotics. I'd rather pay a little bit more because I'm not eating a ton of it. But it's definitely worth it. So the more processed your food goes through to get to your table, the further it is from whole foods. So you want to make sure that you are keeping them as close to their origin as possible. So that includes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and then again, the lean protein. If you get it from a good source, it would be better quality. Next, you want to watch your portion size. I always like to remind people that your stomach essentially is the size of your fist. I'm not saying that that's all I eat, but you shouldn't be piling your plate full of 3 fists. That might be too much. I do love a big salad. I'll have a big pile of greens with some protein on top, and it probably is bigger than my stomach, but there's a lot more chewing involved with that, which leads me to my next tip, which is while you're eating, they say if you chew your food 20 to 30 times, it starts to break it down a lot quicker. So it works through your metabolism a lot faster because you're actually activating your digestion in your mouth. As you're chewing, your salivary glands become activated. It produces the saliva to help start to break down your food. The more you chew it, as it gets down into your stomach, the nutrients can get absorbed quicker because it's already broken down. Your body's not using energy, wasting energy, breaking it down, and then it losing nutrients because it's been sitting too long. So chew your food at least 20 to 30 times. And another good tip is to put your fork down between bites. You don't realize it, but putting your fork down and picking it back up, putting it down, it gives a little, and even if it's like a microsecond, like half a second, that time adds up and it gives your body more time to work on the food that you put in. So put your fork down between bites and then chew, chew, chew 20 to 30 times, and that will definitely help. Next thing, big thing for me, is stay hydrated. One of the things I love, love, love to do, and I started doing it not too long ago, is putting a glass of water on my nightstand or making sure I have a glass ready as soon as I get up in the morning. I chug down a nice 8 to 10 ounce glass of water. It doesn't even have to be cold, but your body is, I believe it's like 70 to 90% water. And your brain needs a lot of water. So at night, we get dehydrated. So starting your day by waking up your brain and your body with a nice glass of water gets it started for your process of drinking all the time. Coffee and tea, yeah, it doesn't really count. There is some water content to it, but you have to be careful. Coffee can dehydrate you. If you drink just coffee, it's not a good source of water. I love water. I actually put some powdered collagen in there sometimes just to give it a little flavor, to make it a little interesting. I know some people cannot stand the taste of just plain water, so you can put some lemons in there. Cucumber water is awesome. I love that too. Whatever you can do to add your water intake is definitely going to benefit you. Also, the amount of water you should drink depends on how much you weigh. If you were to take your weight, divide it by 2, and that number in ounces is what you should drink. So for an example, if you're 160 pounds, you should be drinking 80 ounces of water a day, and that's just to maintain your current weight. If you want to up it a little bit, you can up it a little bit. You'll be going to the bathroom a little bit more, but going to the bathroom helps to flush things out, so it's not a bad thing. I usually take 2 large hydro flasks, they're probably like 32 ounces, with me to work so that I know at least while I'm at work, my target is to drink both of those full of ice water and collagen powder in it, or sometimes I put that emergency. I am a teacher, so I like to make sure I'm getting tons of vitamin C. So I'll put a half a packet of that emergency in there, and it gives it just enough flavor and keeps me drinking it. So stay hydrated. Very, very important. The next tip and the last tip is to stay active. It doesn't mean you have to go out and join a gym, but if you can with some friends, it's a great time to go do some aerobic exercise. If you can take some of those dance classes, that's a great way of getting aerobic exercise, and it's always fun to do it with friends. So if you can do that, that's wonderful. But the key is to make sure that you're constantly moving. I know there's a saying, a body in motion stays in motion, but it is true that when you sit for too long, you don't really want to move. So get active. I like to take walks when the weather is good. I put the headphones in and I go take a walk listening to a podcast. Again, I'm always wanting to learn something, so why not learn? I have a 3.5-mile loop that I do when the weather is good. Also, I stand a lot for my job, but when I'm sitting at my desk, during teaching, I get a little notification on my Apple Watch that says to stand. So that's my little reminder. These little fitness bands are a great way to keep you focused on moving, and you can set it up to have you move however many times you want to move. But if you get up and take a walk down your driveway, walk around your house, walk down the street and back, something, little steps, just get moving. And you also want to incorporate a little bit of strength training, even if you're using those resistance bands. Muscle mass helps to burn more calories. So you're going to want to do something that can help increase your muscles. We do lose a lot of muscle as we age, and strength training, and it doesn't have to be weights. You don't have to get bulked up like a bodybuilder, but keeping your muscles strong will also keep your metabolism going. So I hope you enjoyed it. I love to share information. So if you'd like to, like my video, share it with somebody you think might be interested in it, and don't hesitate to contact me with any questions, or if you'd like me to help you with your health and beauty needs. I would appreciate a like, a share, subscribe even, so that you don't miss any new videos. I'm all about beautifying, educating, and empowering women. So if this sounds like something you would like to be part of, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks, everybody. Peace.